thing, and I do have a tip here. So if you're someone who you want to sell some stuff at your parties or on the go, which Christmas stuff is definitely selling on the go. I can't tell you how many people come up to us at Starbucks and they're like, "What's in your basket?" And people will just buy stuff. Because it's inexpensive. It's not like we're putting miracle sets, although we do have some miracle sets. But for the most part, it's like satin lips, satin hands. It's inexpensive stuff that they're like, "Oh, this is so cute. I'm gonna get this." So if you're gonna do something like that, I would pick like three or four things. Don't try to stock and carry 30 of 20 different things. That would be crazy. And it's also good to do things that if you don't sell them at Christmas, they're going to sell either way, like satin lips. We demoed that at our party. So if you don't sell it at Christmas, it's no big deal, right? It's not like we're not going to sell it. Even the Mint Bliss. So that is something that we don't demo at our party, but we can still easily sell that product out of a basket. It's only 12 bucks. And if you missed out on the fuzzy socks, you can get fuzzy socks at the Dollar Tree. Do you know that? You can get them at Dollar Tree. So, and they have some cute ones. So you can wrap them up, make little footsie rolls, or we've been, I should have asked some people to share. Scarlett, like my stuff is in my car, but we have like these clear cups with like a dome lid and a straw. Okay, Scarlett's gonna show us some stuff. So you can make like a little like foot and leg cream latte. It's super fun. Just fun stuff like that. And we sell those for 15 bucks. And typically when I do Christmas stuff like that, I just tell them a flat dollar amount and like taxes included. Um, because really here, so $12 would be 12.96 here. I know some places are higher or lower, but with tax it would be 12.96. Our tax is 8%. I know some have like 10%, so it would be a little bit more, but it's not huge. So make it priced enough to where it covers your extra materials. But so basically I'm adding $2 extra on for the socks and like the cup. And those take no time to make. It's like 2 seconds because we just wrap the socks around the box, shove it in there, shove a straw in there, call it a day. Maybe tie a bow on top or whatever. So then we're like, it's 15 bucks. But pick just a couple of different things that you can run with that can be easily moved even if they don't sell for Christmas. And y'all, if you want Christmas sales, like if you really, let's say you are like in a position where you really need money this month, then taking these products, putting them in a basket and going to car dealerships is one of the best ways that I have made money in December. I don't know why car dealerships, even part stores, like, and it's funny because half the people that are buying from us are women. We're out there to try to sell to the men, but we come across a lot of women doing this and they buy stuff too, and it's super fun. So we'll just go out and be like, hey, we are just on the go with some Christmas gift ideas if you would want to look at our basket. And we don't even try to sell stuff. We just ask them, like, hey, do you want to take a look at our basket? And then typically people come up and they're like, what do you got? And we typically, when we go out, I mean, we don't go out for hours and hours and hours. It's usually like 1 or 2 hours. And we'll sell at least like two, three, $400 in that time. And it's stuff that now we don't have to deliver. They already have it. It's just because we make several and then we just keep refilling our basket. And so car dealerships are a great place to go around. And there's so many dealerships and typically they're in clusters. So like you see one and then there's several others around. So Scarlett, hold on. What I could do is when you're sharing the booking tips, because you'll be spotlighted, maybe you could show it then. That way everybody could see it a little better. Okay, fine. Pal, I'll spotlight you now. Hold on a second. There you go. Now you're spotlighted. So-
Sorry. I actually had to run outside. Okay, but look, these are so cute. I have different things. I'm going to pretend like this is a headband, but look at this cute little thing. These are the little socks, and we wrapped it in wrapping paper. And you can like wrap it with a headband, one of the elastic things, and it looks like a snowman. These are my little socks. I have to figure out which way. But look, there's the ice, the socks. You got glitter sparkle, little paper in there for the whipped cream. And then I couldn't find what I was looking for, but you can always put an insert, a cute insert in your satin handbag and carry that around as well. Okay.
I love it. And I think so, yeah. There's actually several people on this Zoom who have gone out with us during Christmas to car dealerships and sold products, and they sell. I mean, just look at your dealership hours. A lot of them are open late. A lot of them are open on the weekends. It just depends. So, I don't really do a whole lot of preparation other than having a bunch of gifts with me. Like that's it. So that when I sell them, and we'll go in some and we'll sell like one thing, and then we'll go in another, and people are like, "Do you have more of this? Do you?" And we'll have to go back to the car and bring stuff in, and so it's super fun. So that is a great way to get sales this month. Now, I will say too, this is not a replacement for holding parties because it's like just money now, and sometimes we need just money now, which is great. But we also want to build our business long term, and that's going to come from parties. So, a lot of these extra things, especially during the holidays, would be just that extra things instead of a replacement for what we normally do, because you don't want January to come and then now you've spent your profit. Like, yeah, it was exciting. You sold thousands of dollars, whatever. But now you're like, what do I do? So you want to go into January with lots of bookings. And January is also a really good time for bookings because people are hitting the gym. They're like, new year, new you. They're wanting to take better care of themselves. They're setting these goals. And so it is really fun to schedule parties in January for New Year, New You, or New Year Makeover, whatever you want to call it. Just like this year, or this month, sorry, we're literally just adding the word holiday in front of our booking script. So if you read our booking script, it might say sparkle skincare session or just skincare session. So just literally put the word holiday in front of that. So what you get is a holiday skincare session. So then she's not like, oh, well, I'll do it in February. No, girl, it's a holiday skincare session. Now, what makes it a holiday skincare session? The fact that it's in December. That's it. So so that has helped us get a lot of bookings during this season since I joined Mary Kay. I've never had a problem getting um, bookings in December because I think I just expect them to book and we get what we expect, but also just adding that word holiday. So simple. So, okay. So I am super excited for us to hear from our two ladies tonight. I do want to take a little bit of time first. I got to talk about a couple things right quick because these are important and time sensitive. First is PCP. So the Preferred Customer Program is something that I honestly over the years I've used it, I've utilized it. I haven't like fully utilized it like properly. I've enrolled customers and then been like, nobody's buying them from me because the fortune is in the follow up, first of all. Um, so that's important. But I've learned more recently about the preferred customer program than I ever have in my entire Mary Kay career, which is funny. I didn't I didn't need to know anything logistically about it. I know exactly how it works. I know how to use it. I know all of that. But stats, as far as when you enroll this many customers, you can expect this, not just for your own self, but for your team. That has been super eye-opening. So I am very, very excited about the preferred customer program. And if you don't, I don't think there's anyone on here who doesn't know what it is, but this is streaming, so I'm just going to explain it super quickly. So it's just when a new quarter is coming up, like a product released, a new book, which is only 5 times a year because there's one for each season plus a holiday one. So the next one is going to be spring because this one right here that we're in right now is winter. So that one is going to be sent out in February. It's going to start being mailed in the beginning of February. And You pay 95 cents per person to enroll your customers into this mailing. And what that 95-cent covers is a lookbook. So the newest lookbook. So that the lookbook is this thing right here. Like this is the winter one. So it includes the book itself, a sample in the book, and shipping for 95 cents. I will tell you with 100% certainty, you cannot buy the book and ship it yourself for less than that. There's just no way. So on the back, you'll see like an area. They actually turn it sideways for PCP. It's interesting, but they print your information on there for your customers. So, and then they just put a paper seal on it. And it is a really, really fantastic and inexpensive way to get reorders and even new customers. If you have someone that you feel like maybe they haven't purchased from you, but they are interested or could or would, put them on the mailing list. It doesn't have to be just people that have purchased things. But over the years, I've gravitated towards just sending them to people who have purchased from me in the past year because eventually you're going to have so many people and you're in touch that you're like, this is too much. Like, I cannot mail it to 500 people unless they are actually buying from me, in which case, go for it, right? So, this opens every quarter, and there are some perks besides getting the book to your customers, which is a huge one. There's also early ordering. So early ordering is for stars and or people who enroll their customers in this mailing. So when the products are released, you get to order them 5 days early, which means you can even reach out to those same customers that are getting books and saying, hey, I'm going to have early access to these products. Let me go ahead and get your order. So that's super exciting. And also, you get one too. So no matter how many people you enroll in the preferred customer program mailing, they're going to send you one just like your customers. So that way you kind of have an idea, first of all, of when it shows up in their mailbox. Second, exactly what page that sample's on and what the sample is. Because that's your key to follow up is that sample. Now, they're going to look through the book. People love looking through books. But that sample gives you a great reason to reach out to them and to say like, hey, I'm so excited, the book showed up. Did yours show up yet? Yes. Okay, great. So there's a sample of blah 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 on page blah 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 whatever. Have you tried it yet? And then if the answer is no, because some people they get it and they try it right away, like they'll try it immediately. Some people they're like, no, I didn't even know there was a sample in there, so that gives you a reason to follow up again. And so this is something to be really strategic about. It's not just to enroll people and then hope for the best. That's not what we're doing. We're going to enroll people and then we're going to follow up with them. So when the time comes, I am 100% going to help with that. I will give you scripts. The company gives scripts. I'll give you better scripts. So I will give you scripts that you can use. And if you have a lot of customers, you can text them. If you don't have a ton of customers, just call them. You're going to get better results calling. But if you enrolled 40 people, you might not want to call 40 people. If you do, great. Do it because you will get better results. But otherwise, I'll make sure you have text scripts. And I'm also going to be starting something fun. And this hasn't been announced yet because it doesn't apply quite yet. Although it does because you got to get people enrolled. You have to enroll at least one person. Okay. I don't care if you go on there and you enroll one person for 95 cents, you can still do what I'm about to say. So when your book comes in the mail, I'm going to have you take a selfie with it and post it on social media. And we're going to come up with a hashtag. We don't have it yet. The details will come, I promise. There will be a graphic, all that. But anyway, whoever has the most fun, creative, or funny selfie is going to win a prize. So we're going to have a unique hashtag. That way, when you click on that hashtag, it's going to be like just us. So not just, well, we don't want to have to filter through a whole bunch of random stuff, right? So we'll come up with a hashtag, but you're going to take a selfie and you're going to post it on social media public. You're not going to tag me. So, you know, when you tag, well, I don't even know if you'll be able to tag me with all Facebook stuff going on. But you know, when you tag people, a lot of times less people see it. So I don't want you to tag me. I just want you to post it. And you know what would be fun too is if you replicated this with your customers. If you told your customers, hey, when your book comes, take a picture with it, and you could have them tag you. That would be a little more strategic as long as they post it public and not just for friends, because then their friends will see you as their consultant, and so you never know who's going to see that, who needs a consultant, right? So and it gives you the ability to find it a little bit easier, and because if they tag you, unless you, it would be more complicated for you to come up with your own hashtag for your customers. It'd be easier for them to just tag you, but you could replicate it, say tag me, and somebody's going to win a prize or something like that. But that's what we're going to do is you take a selfie with your book when it comes, and then you're going to post it on social media, public, and whoever has the most fun, creative, or funny one is going to get a prize. So, does everybody on here have at least one person enrolled so far? At least one. Okay, that's going to change. I don't care if you enroll one person, you guys, it's 95 cents. All of you can come up with 95 cents. It's better to enroll more, but get at least one enrolled. And I am doing a promotion this quarter where if you didn't enroll anybody last quarter, then your goal is 13. 13 is Mary Kay Ash's favorite number. So your goal is at least 13. And if you hit 13, I will reimburse you for the 13, which is like $12 and some change. It's still super affordable. Um, if you enrolled people last quarter, your goal is 13 more. So whatever you enrolled last quarter, um, your goal this quarter is 13 more. So let's say you enrolled 10 customers last quarter, then your goal this quarter is 23. And I will reimburse you for those 13. Now, if you enroll 50, great. I'll still reimburse you just for 13. So it's not like all of your people, it's the 13 extra or the 13 new. So our goal is to add at least 13 new customers per quarter. Y'all, that's one a week. We can all add one person a week that is either a current customer or a potential customer to our preferred customer program mailing. So this is a inexpensive, easy, and fun way to get more customers or to get current customers on more products. So Kelly, the answer is no. You want to enroll people this quarter. At least one person. At least one. The goal is 13 or 13 more than last quarter, but at least one person is what's going to give you early ordering. It's what's going to get you into the contest where you take a picture with your book that shows up. So you definitely want to enroll people every quarter. That's the goal, is every quarter. And this quarter, or this enrollment closes on the 11th. The 11th, right? Yeah, in 2 days. So you have until no. It does not have to be the same people. Isn't that great? I mean, it could be, but it doesn't have to be. So whoever you have as customers in your InTouch, you can enroll any of those. And this, as time goes on, is where tagging becomes pretty important. Because when I go to a party, all of my profile cards go in InTouch. No, it does not automatically renew. Nope. There's nothing automatic about it. Nope. So when I put people in InTouch, like in my customers, right? After a party, I'm not necessarily mailing books to people that didn't buy anything unless I know that there's a very strong possibility that they will. Because sometimes that happens. Sometimes they didn't buy anything at the party, but they are going to. And I would enroll them. But for the most part, especially as your customer base gets larger and larger, it ideally, and I'm gonna tell you what I do. You don't have to do what I do, but it is a really good system. And I got it from a director who does at least Queen's Court of Sales and earns a diamond ring for her sales every year. So she knows a thing or two about sales. So what she does is every time a customer places an order, no matter if it's a new customer or an old customer, they get a tag that has just the month and year that they ordered. So if somebody ordered from me this month, their tag in touch would be December 2025. That's it. Easy. And you can do it however you want. 12 2025, 12-25, whatever. However you want to do it. But mine is December 2025. So when I go enroll my customers to get a book from me, I'm enrolling anybody who has purchased from me in the past year. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose December 2024. I'm going to choose that tag, all those customers, January 2025, February 2025, March 2025, and so on. Does that make sense? So now I've captured anybody who has purchased from me in the past year. And if they've purchased from me in the past year, I want them to get a book, right? So that's how I do it. And you don't have to do it that way right now, but it is good to get into the habit of tagging your people so that they can be organized some way, shape, or form. I used to do just 3 different tags: active, preferred, and other. Active was they've purchased from me. Preferred is they purchase a lot from me. And other is they haven't purchased from me. That's a little bit harder to keep up with because just because someone was a preferred customer 3 years ago does not mean that they're preferred now. Because if they bought a repair set from me 3 years ago and never anything else since, then I don't necessarily consider them a preferred customer. They could come back, but it's easier for me to do the monthly tag so I know, like, okay, she has purchased for me in the past year. And if you just always, you can add a lot of tags, but typically what I do is if they buy from me now and they've bought from me before, girl, get those out of your ear. No, you cannot walk around with Q-tips in your ear. Go somewhere. So I will remove the old tags. You can just delete them. They're super easy to delete. And then add new tags. Like I'll delete the one that says July 2025 and add December 2025. But even if you don't delete the tags, it doesn't matter because when you pull the month that you're looking for, they'll still be on that list. So you'll see when you enroll people, it'll let you enroll like everyone. It'll let you handpick who you enroll, or you can enroll groups of tags. So does anybody have questions about the preferred customer program mailing before we move on from that? Because I want to make sure you got it because it does close in 2 days. All right, go. You have to go out of here. Go. Why? Go. All right, out. Done. Go. Nope. Okay, questions? Anybody not sure how it works or not sure where to find it? Um, Everybody on here is going to have at least one customer, yes? At least one. But the goal is 13 or 13 more than last quarter. But who here has already done their 13 or 13 more than last quarter? Woo, Michelle. Okay. I can't see everybody, but I saw Michelle raise her hand. I don't know if, okay. And if you're not sure of your
Me.
number, huh? Oh, Scarlett. Okay. So if you're not sure of your number, it has been getting posted and updated on Facebook. However, there might be a slight delay because you might have enrolled more people. So the best way to look is to go on In Touch and look at your reports. So there is a report that will tell you how many you enrolled last quarter and how many you've enrolled this quarter. And you do want to kind of get familiar with reports anyway, because you're running a business, you guys. Like we have to be aware of our numbers. If you need help finding it, let me know. I can see your numbers, but I would rather show you where to find them than just keep telling you myself. So if you get stuck trying to enroll people, let me know. I'm here. But you have 2 days. 2 days, okay? All right, so next, I want to really quickly talk about my shop. So raise your hand if you've set it up already. Okay, all right. So I saw Candace's hand, Scarlett, Michelle, Megan, Kelly. Kelly, have you done it? My shop. Nisha has her hand up. Okay. Tiffany, I want to make sure everybody on here has already set it up. You've set up Stripe. Everything's good to go. It's ready for you um, to transition on the 17th. Okay. Okay, great. So if you have not done it, I need you to do it because you're running out of time. So we have been talking about this for a really long time. And so what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to go to InTouch you're going to go to, so the company has put out like email after email after email about this, but you can go to resources and then Connect Hub. And when you're on Connect Hub, you're going to scroll down. So you scroll down, 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 keep scrolling down, keep scrolling down, keep scrolling down, and you will see a big old pink button that says set up your online shop now. You click that and do what it says. It's super simple. It's so simple, y'all. So you just like read it, agree. Read it, agree. It says, give us some pictures, agree. Put your little blurb. And you know what the cool thing is? It auto-populates whatever you already have on your website. So whatever you set up your website originally with, like your little about me, your profile picture, all of that auto-populates. And you can keep it or you can change it. It's up to you. But now we can put 6 pictures. So I have some pictures of us as a team. It's so fun. I don't have a ton of picture of my kids except the little one. I guess teenagers and old kids don't like pictures, but I have a picture of me and my husband. I have a picture of Olivia with a pink Cadillac. So it's just super fun. So you can put some pictures on there. You can pick 2 zip codes now instead of 5. And it auto-populates those too, so make sure they're the ones that you want. But you set up Stripe, and there's 2 ways that you can do that. You can either log into your bank account, which is safe. It's like Plaid. There's lots of different things that use that where you log in and connect it that way, or you can connect it manually. That's totally up to you. But you're gonna set up your Stripe account, and then so why you're putting your bank account in there is because they have to pay you when people buy on your website. So now when someone orders on your website, it doesn't go into an account, it goes into your account. It doesn't go into like a Stripe account, it goes into your bank account. And then you are going to, like, through this process, you're going to choose if you want to offer free shipping or if you want basically guest checkout on. So I turned all of that on. So I turned on free shipping for $75 and over. It looks like we might have to update it every month, which is fine. I mean, I don't know if they're like, once it's going, it might let us choose a longer period. But right now, it's only letting us choose a 1 month period to offer the free shipping. So, you know what? If it expires in a month, then people are going to pay shipping. And if we go back in and change it, we go back in and change it. But I feel like once it's live, it'll probably be a little bit easier to adjust. Um, you get to choose if you want to let guests check out on your shop, which I turn that on for sure because I do get guest checkouts, especially if you're a star consultant and you get oh, that's another thing you have to turn on. It says, do you want potential customers to find you on the consultant locator? Turn that on. Make sure that's on because you do want people to find you. And if especially if you're a star consultant, that's how they're going to find you is if you're listed. So anyway, if you have any questions, if you need any help, um, let us know. But I just ask that you go exactly where I said to go. That's the link right there, and do it because it actually walks you through it like completely on like it walks you through every step. So, Kelly, do you have a question?
Hey, so I remember doing Stripe because I remember answering all those questions that you were just talking about. I think I set up my shop, but I don't know if it got fully set up because I still keep getting alerts to set it up. So how can I
We're all
check?
getting alerts to set it up. They're just reminding us. So we all
Okay.
get that. So
Okay.
if
But
you
how
went
can I
all the
know?
way through, so the last thing you should see is save and publish. We can't publish it because it's not live yet, but it says save and publish. So that's the very last page. And there's a preview button, which we also can't preview because it's not live yet. So it's just ready to publish. So
Okay.
if you got to the page that says preview and it also has a button that says save and publish, then you're good.
Okay. I'll double check it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think everybody on here has said that they got it set up, so that's good. All right, so um, mostly if you're showing up, then the changes aren't going to affect you much. For the people who are not really working their business, those are the people that the changes are going to be beneficial for. Not the shop changes, but the fact that they can earn profit even if they're not active. So we are not going to be earning profit if not active, because we are always going to be active. Because those who show up, those aren't typically the ones that are going to be inactive and just trying to collect orders on their website. But for your team members, if you have team members that maybe aren't doing a whole lot, this is going to be great for them. So you want to reach out to them and you want to say, hey, did you already set up your shop? And if they're like, what is that? Help them. Just have them set it up so that it'll be ready. It's free. Everybody gets it free for a year, whether they have a website now or not, but it's going to be much easier if they do it now versus waiting until later. So reach out to them and say, hey, and I actually texted everybody who's inactive already, and I will follow up, but you still want to reach out to them and say, hey, do you know as of the 17th, you can earn profit even if you're not active? You can earn immediate profit on your website orders. Would you like to learn more? And see what they say. And then you can tell them, like, hey, let's just get your shop. If they're like, sure, let's get your shop set up. That's it. We just need to get your shop set up. So, um, so if you need help or if you have questions about that, let me know. But those are two really important things: PCP and having your shop set up, which I think we're good on the shop. Make sure everybody has at least one customer enrolled, y'all. But if you enroll nobody last quarter and you enroll 13 this quarter, it's free because I'm going to reimburse you. But you have to do it first. I'm not sending you money until it's done. And actually, the money will probably be on the 15th anyway, because that's my payday, first of all. Second, I'm waiting until the end of the quarter so we have a goal as a unit. We have a unit goal of how many customers. I do not have the goal in front of me, but I will look it up. It's like 747 customers or something like that. I don't know if that's the exact number, but I'm going to look at that number and we're going to look and see how many are already enrolled. That it adds up fast. I mean, if you think about people are enrolling 30, 40 people, it definitely adds up fast. So it sounds like a big number, but how exciting is that many customers from our unit are going to get a book with a sample, and then we get to follow up and get orders from them. That's exciting. So, okay. So I am now going to introduce our first person that's going to share tonight. And that is, oh, Megan's here. Megan is here twice. Okay. So, so that is the fabulous Michelle. So Michelle is going to be sharing. Um, and you know what? I didn't necessarily like decide what order for you guys to share in, but this is actually perfect because what you're talking about comes before what Scarlett's talking about anyway. So we all want parties, right? We all want parties, but sometimes we're like, I don't know who to book for parties. So Michelle is actually in a place where, one, she's far away from us. Two, she is not from where she lives right now. She hasn't been there long. So she really did not have a circle to start with. And so she has a circle, just not a local circle to start with. And so she has been doing some pretty awesome things out there in Florida on her own. And I just asked her to share about what she's doing. And so I'm super excited, Michelle. And I just have to say, like, I just love how, like, you're coachable, you're teachable, you're clearly very hardworking, you're so smart, and I already see you as a leader in this company without a doubt. And I'm just so excited to see just all the things that you're doing, because it's awesome. Like, you have customers, you have sales, and now you're doing a new thing, which is super fun. So, and I can't wait to see. And actually, I didn't even follow up with you to see how your calls went. So I would love to hear that too. It's okay. You know, it's the truth. It's real. It's what's happening. So, Scarlett's going to give some tips on that. So what she shares might help. But, um, I'm so excited. So you can take it away, Michelle. And I haven't actually met her yet, but I know I will because we got to either bring her here to hang out with us for a little bit or go there to hang out with her for a little bit. So, all right, take it away. I'm so
All right.
excited.
Well, hey guys. So, just real quick, I'm down here in Central Florida. So, all of my people so far that I've done anything with whatsoever has been on those virtual Tuesday night parties. Those things have been my bread and butter. All the sales that I've gotten from starting until now have all started with those Tuesday virtual parties. I use them for all of my out of town. I have PA, I have Tennessee, I have South Carolina, I have Orlando, Florida. So everywhere that I could possibly get anybody I know ever on one of those virtual calls is what I try to do. Um, the latest thing that I did was I went ahead and I put together, I think you can see them, my facial boxes. So this is kind of how I'm starting right now. I went ahead and I made them. I I think I had set a goal of 8, and Wendy's like, no, we need to set a goal of 10. So 10 was the magic number there. So I went back and made sure I had 10. I really, truly left my house and looked for places that I thought were interesting, places that I would go, places that I knew would have a lot of women in them, the hairstyle places, as long as they didn't offer facials, nail places, some doctor's offices, um, eyeglass places. That was one that actually helped a lot. A a place that helps with decorating their bathrooms and their kitchens. That place I actually got leads from as well. So just kind of, you know, like Wendy said, I don't leave with a plan. I just left with an eye as to where I would want to be. And when I walk in, my first question to them is, do you help support small businesses in the area? And that usually stops them. And I'm like, and if you do, that's great. Because I know you're a small business and I'm a small business. Where can I go ahead and put this? Just where? And I start mapping it out the moment I walk in where I think it would be best. If they let me leave it on the counter, that's a win. If not, I'm looking somewhere in the lobby or in the office where I can put it. So I walked around. I promised myself the first time that I went out that I would not come back home until I got those 10 boxes. And I got to 9 and everything dried up. I went 1 through 9 and it was so fast and so great. And then that 10th one, I was like, okay, I'm being tested here. I'm going to keep going. I made myself a promise. I am not coming back home until that 10th box is out of this car. And that was kind of one of the last places that I've been, and that place has been really nice. So I went back. I let them all know that I would be back in 1 week, 1 week for the first boxes to go ahead and check. Um, Primarily, so they know that I was coming back. Like, please don't throw away my box in 2 seconds. I am coming back to check on these. So when I came back, they all had their boxes still. Everybody had their box and everybody had it exactly where I'd left it. So I just went ahead, took my box, and just switched it out, got those leads, and then I went ahead and I called everyone. I've left voicemails for everyone and sent a text. And then I sat down with the booking and coaching playbook and I just went through and just put everything in my phone, all the scripts, all the PPT or T1, T2. I just went ahead and got them all in there so I can just sit with that coaching playbook and just make sure that every day I do a little bit more until I get to 5 or until I book. I went out again today and one of my boxes was missing. Today was not my good day. I went out and nothing. I got nothing. But one of my boxes was missing. So I went out, got nothing, and I was missing a box. So now I didn't have my 10. Once again, I decided, well, that's not going to happen. Once again, I'm not going back home until I get 10. And I ended up with 2 more places that were so excited that sat there and talked to me forever. The one lady's like, I can get this full for you. I mean, places that I would not have even thought of walking into if that one place hadn't gotten rid of that box. It's just my takeaway is just make sure you have in your head with yourself, especially if you're just by yourself, a goal. Like, I am not going to let myself, and I treat myself to Starbucks when I'm done. Like, that's kind of my treat to me. I don't buy Starbucks often. I don't go to Starbucks often, but that's my little congratulatory. I'm gonna go get me, my chai tea latte, and I'm good to go. So that's about it. The next thing I'm going to try is the women's appreciation. But it's really not as hard as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be really daunting. I thought the businesses would kind of look at me and roll their eyes, and none of that happened. Like, none of that happened. Even the one place I told Wendy, one of the ladies, I thought maybe I made her mad. I got most of the leads from that place. So you just never know. You never know. But nobody was rude. It was so super easy. A lot of them, the moment that I said, do you help to support small businesses in the area, were just more than happy to help. So that's my
I
that's
love
my little
it.
thing.
So I have a couple questions for you, but also I would love for a couple of people to prepare to I would love for at least two people, well, let's just say two people to unmute and just share a takeaway or affirmation for Michelle. So I was taking notes and I love this. So I love that you shared just about overcoming. And isn't it funny how God works sometimes where you're like, oh, one of my boxes disappeared. But then you ended up at a place that you probably wouldn't have been at. And it could be like the best thing ever. So that's really cool. Um, and I love how you also, so you're an overcomer for sure. You pivot. I love that you shared that you reward yourself because I feel like that's important. Some it could be negative motivation as in I can't get this until I do this, or it could be positive as in I get this. It depends on what motivates you.
Yeah.
So look at it whichever
It
way works
depends
for you.
on how your
Right.
day's going, true.
Right, right. Yeah.
Like,
So,
like
yeah.
this is the best day ever.
Yeah.
Or, oh man.
But it does cause you to stretch too because
Mhm.
you're like, I am not coming back until I get 10. And then when you hit 9, you're like, but I promised myself that I was going to do 10. And so when you do the and then some, that is what those things is what leads to the things that you're gonna go back later and tell stories of, yeah, this one time I really didn't want to put out this last box and that one box led to this like red jacket or this offspring sales director. This is where those stories begin. So that's super exciting. The building relationships part, I wanted to ask you a little bit about that because when I talked to Michelle originally about, well, not originally, because originally it was like, go put the boxes out. And then it was like, okay, this is my goal. This is the day. And then we talked on the day and it was great. But when they actually got out, so the day that you put them out, you were telling me about, like you said, I'm going to come back in a week and then you're a woman of your words. So that's important. But also, I love how you're not just like, because I will admit, we're pretty quick. We walk in and we're like, here's my box. Like, can I leave this here? Boom. You are actually being intentional about building relationships with these
Yeah.
businesses, which I know part of your goal of even being in Mary Kay is community and a way to get out there and be in your community, but also build community and meet new people. So, can you share just a little bit? I feel like this, what you were telling me about the
Oh yeah.
woman, I guess it was a
Mhm.
woman. Yeah, I'm assuming it was a woman calling you into the office manager. And
Yep.
even though it didn't work out, but like you're building relationships.
So one of the first things that I did, I think you're referring to, is every place that I went into, when I got back out to the car, I made sure that I wrote their name down, the person that I talked to. So when I go back in, I have the person that I spoke with, who they were, any detail that I could, so I can remember that or recall it when I go back. I made sure to jot down, and I just put it in my notes into my phone. So then the next time that I go out, I just have the addresses and I'm just on a loop. Just I am new here, so like I'm still trying to figure out kind of where everything is. Um, for all the doctor's offices, any of the doctor's offices, I know as a manager at a doctor's office that we are not allowed to put stuff out unless you ask the manager. So that was something I specifically like asked, can I speak with the manager? Am I allowed to put this out there? And the one lady ended up having me back in her office. She wanted me to explain everything. Once I told her that it was Mary Kay, she said that she would be interested in maybe ordering some mascara from me, but she had her own consultant. So I was like, well, let's see. Because I don't want to poach anybody. I don't want that to be my 5 minutes into Mary Kay here at the Villages that I ended up stealing something. So that I really did try to make sure that I made a connection that I will remember when I go back. Like that's something that I just want to make sure that I do.
Yeah, and I love that. And I love too that you're not just thinking about the right now, you're thinking about the future. Like, this is a long-term
Mhm.
goal, like strategy plan here. It's not just, I need leads right this second. Like, we're building strong businesses. And in the process, because this is a relationship business, we're building strong relationships. And so the fact that she wanted to buy and you were like, oh, you have a consultant. I mean, that is the Mary Kay way. And Mary Kay Ash would be so proud of you. And when I was a new consultant, this is definitely, and I mean, this is still what I do. I still do facial boxes. I will probably never stop doing facial boxes. Y'all, Kristen Sharp still does facial boxes. So as long as she does, I'm gonna do it too. But that is how I got. I always told people I think I've earned like at least 5 cars solely off of facial box leads. And that's because when I was new, my schedule didn't allow me to do a lot of the things that I do now, like working women appreciation or daycares. My schedule, because there's certain things that you can only do 9 to 5, and my schedule didn't allow that. So I had to do facial boxes. So there were times where I had 30 facial boxes out because I just knew I needed such a steady stream of leads that I was like, and y'all, we will never run out of places. I don't care that a lot of us live in the same part of town. We will never run out of places. There's so many places. And I love the places that you're saying, like doctor's offices and the home, whatever it's called, like the design, the home design or
Oh
tile or
yeah.
whatever you said, like kitchen store, whatever it was.
Mhm.
These are creative. And you know what? The people that are going to a place like that, they have money. Like, you want to be where your target market is. We're not putting our facial boxes in gas stations and McDonald's, y'all. We're putting our facial boxes where the people who, like, this is part of why I like meeting people at gyms, because at a gym, they I know they care about their image or their health, and like skin care is self-care. So
Mhm.
you can kind of be like really intentional about where you put your boxes in the same way. So I love it. Okay, so who is going to unmute and share a takeaway, an affirmation, something that stood out to you? Thank you so much, Michelle, for being willing. She did not hesitate. She said, yes, I will share. And I just absolutely love that. All right, so you have to unmute yourself, whoever wants to go first. Hmm.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay.
So, oh,
Sorry.
Okay, Scarlett and then
go ahead,
Megan.
Scarlett.
How about that?
Okay. So, Michelle, I just love you, but I think what you were saying about building relationships, I think that's super important and something that I need to learn throughout the whole process. I'll be talking about booking and coaching, but just that relationship building and how you just did it. Like, I had a group of women, you just went out there and you did it. So you're a rock star, and I appreciate you.
But I really built it up so much more in my head than it was. I was petrified. And then finally, when I went out and did it, I'm like, oh, I'm actually getting like a good reception here. This, like, this is nice. Like, this is fun. So, yeah,
It is really fun.
yeah.
And actually, I learned because of Michelle, there are a couple of people who thought that working women appreciation was like going into places and facialing people, like legit just doing a party.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's not the only one that thought that. I can't remember who the other one was, but um this, okay, maybe Kelly. There actually might have been more than more than a couple people, but yeah, we definitely tend to overthink things, don't we? We're really good at that. So awesome. Okay, Megan, I know you unmuted. Okay, there we go.
So yeah. Hi Michelle, nice to meet
Hey,
you.
nice to
Um,
meet you.
so funny enough, what you just reiterated was like the biggest thing that stood out to me because I still feel very nervous about any of that stuff. Like going out there, putting myself out there. And so to hear you, especially because I do know that you are down there and you're by yourself in an in-person state. Um, like you just went out and you did the thing and you were like, oh, that was nothing. That was not at all what I thought it was going to be. It's just nice to hear from somebody that's new and was stuck in a position of having to do it by yourself. I'm not in that position. I'm very close and I get to work close with the ladies and it's nice and it's fun. So I just need to make sure to put myself out there and, you know, even if we have to encourage each other along the way. But just to hear that you like reiterate, like it really wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, is like just helps me put things at ease in my mind.
Oh, well, good.
Yay, I love it. Thank you, Megan and Scarlett, for sharing. Thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing. I'm sure you're going to be sharing more soon because now we're in the part where it's like making the calls and doing the follow-up, and all of this is a skill. That means that we will suck at it first because it's a skill. And so these are things that it's like the more you do it, the easier it gets and the better you get at it. So you're going through the process, you're trusting the process. And I'm so excited to see where that takes you. And all the people, we ask God to put people in our path, but we got to go find them. So that means He's going to be putting people in your facial box. And He's going to be putting people in your path when you're doing Working Women Appreciation. And so that is your faith with legs. I love it. So I'm so excited. Thank you again. And I am going to turn it over to Scarlett, who is going to be sharing what comes after leads. Well, we get the leads, right? What do we do with them? What are we going to do with these leads? So I do want to share a little bit, especially if you've been in Mary Kay for a minute. One thing that we have noticed is that our booking rate isn't as high as normal. And part of it, not our booking rate, sorry, our holding rate. Our booking rate is as high as normal, actually. But our hold rate is a little bit lower than normal. And part of it could be the season, it's the holidays, but part of it is that people right now are really distracted. We're distracted, and we in Mary Kay are super intentional about growth and like boundaries. And you're learning these things that maybe nobody has ever told you as an adult, like turn off your notifications, don't look at your phone right before bed. Like we hear these things, a lot of the world doesn't hear it or they don't pay attention to it. A lot of the world is getting so much input that we are just another input and it could be really overwhelming. And so Scarlett and I have been talking and like looking at our numbers and just really strategizing and troubleshooting because my goal is one to be very duplicatable so that people like Michelle can take what we do and just go do it, right? So we want to be very duplicatable. Also, we want you to get results. So if you have to call 5 billion people to get a booking, that's not duplicatable, right? And it's not giving you the results that you deserve. So one thing we've been addressing is the hold rate specifically. And so I am really excited for Scarlett to share some things that you've probably never heard before and some that you have already heard that you need to hear again. So Scarlett has the proof behind like what we're saying. When Scarlett sits down, she can pull out her booking notebook and she can prove that she's doing the work. As in, there's page after page after page of here's who I called. I've highlighted them pink, they booked. I highlighted them yellow, they didn't answer. Like she is doing the work. So that is why Scarlett is going to be sharing this with you guys tonight, because I will tell you, I have been plugged into a lot of things lately. And if you've been around me, you already know, like, I just am vomiting Mary Kay everywhere, like I'm a new consultant, because they just had $1 million reunion. The $1 million sales directors and $1 million nationals, and I bought the recordings immediately and started listening to them immediately. And there is a very, very, very overwhelmingly obvious um trend in the Mary Kay world that the way to work this business is to book and hold in-home parties. And that is what Scarlett is doing. And so I'm so excited, Scarlett, for you. Scarlett is in DIQ, and Scarlett is going to finish DIQ in a month. And then she's going to move on to earn her first car, which is super exciting. And you know, as a new director in your first year, you can earn $6,000 in bonuses on top of your commission. So she's going to be earning $6,000 in bonuses. And that's going to be super exciting. Y'all, a $6,000 raise is kind of exciting, right? If your job tried to give you a $6,000 raise, that's pretty significant. So, Scarlett, what do you have to share? And she was also, not surprisingly, our queen of bookings, our queen of faces. So, and that's been a trend lately, the booking queen and the faces queen. So we don't just want the bookings, we want them to lead to faces, right? So that means that she's booking and coaching effectively. So Scarlett, take it away. And then as you're listening, take notes. And then I'm definitely going to have a couple of you unmute again after to affirm her and share some takeaways. And we'll still have the Facebook post where you can share more.
Okay, all right. So hi y'all. So I'm going to talk a little bit about booking and then about coaching. So of course, like others are saying, you need to get your leads, however you want to do that. A couple of things that I've noticed with booking is when you get your leads, you want to, if at all possible, if my dog gets too crazy, y'all let me know. I'll move to a different room. But anyway, um, call sooner rather than later. I find that they remember you, and then you just have that enthusiasm, um, because you've met with them recently. So another thing is to I'm gonna move because this dog is driving me nuts. Okay, this is real life, y'all. Okay, so you always want to be happy and excited when you call your potential faces. And so I've struggled with that myself. And so I just tried something today and I wanted to let y'all know about this. So I was making my calls, but instead of sitting down and making my calls, I was standing up. And for me, when I stand up, I kind of move around a little bit. Well, I found that I actually sounded more excited when I was standing up. And so the words just came more fluent, and I'm not sure what that's all about, but just try different things, when you're making your booking calls. But you definitely want to be excited. Um, the other thing is, this is another thing I found. It may be kind of weird, but I'm always dressed in full glam when I'm making these phone calls. Um, it makes me feel important and it makes me feel professional. And then when I make these calls, that kind of, exudes from my voice. And, you know, they're willing to, just be more personable. And so that has helped me as well. So, again, booking and always have the booking and coaching playbook. Even though I still get stuck when I'm doing my calls, sometimes they're a hot mess. And I refer to that playbook all the time. It's in my coaching binder, actually. So definitely take a look at that if you don't have it. Okay, so coaching. Coaching is really important. Again, kind of like what Michelle was talking about. It's relationship building, and that's what you want to do with these ladies. And you want to get them excited, you know. So you always want to call. I know you may hear people out there saying, yeah, you can text and things like that, but honestly, calling is better. Calling is more personable. They get to talk to a real person. Um, so what I've started doing is when I'm calling them, I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" Just be yourself. So I'm like, "Hey y'all. Hey girl, how you doing?" Like this is Scarlett, um, I want to get you penciled in for your free skincare session. So what we've kind of started doing is also saying, I will call you in a day or so to get more information about your skin, see if there's any allergies or anything else I can help with. So that keeps you in contact with that person as well as doing your shortcut text, right? So I'm still doing my text follow-ups, but I think that second call, just actually sitting and talking with them, asking them about themselves, so you can really make the party or the session totally about them, right? Um, so another thing that I do when I'm coaching, so when I send an email, so when I email them the details, I also include the hostess program. So I have found that driving the hostess program is we're getting results from the hostess program. Now, not only do I email it, but I also follow up with a text message um, as well. And so again, we want them to be excited. Like, hey girl, look, if you have three or more women, 18 or older, look, you get this, this, and this. But if you get five people, girl, you get a shot. Whatever you want it to be, right? Just make it fun. And then they're going to invite their girlfriends, right? So also kind of what I do is if like they're like, well, I don't have, many friends, things like that. I'm like, well, if you could get one more person, I'll double your goodie bag, right? Something, it could be whatever you want it to be, honestly, but I'm just coaching that entire time, trying to make it at least a party, right? But also still make them feel special and included and knowing that they're going to get all kind of goodies because people like incentives. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, share calls, things like that. I'm like, hey, you get a free lip gloss, something, whatever. So people like, gifts. And so that kind of drives the parties as well. Also, kind of what Wendy and I do, we take a picture of their goodie bag and we send them the picture. Um, and so I say, hey, I've got your goodie bag ready. And so here's what's interesting about that. So, and Wendy, if I need to stop, you just tell me. But is you can be coaching. Let's say you're coaching somebody, right? And then you hear crickets. Okay, so like the day before their session, you're like, I've got your goodie bag ready, and you send them the picture and it's got the tag with their name and it's personalized. They'll be like, oh, thank you. Well, they're gonna probably hold now because you've got a gift for them. You know, one, it's a free gift, but number two, they don't want to let you down. So sending pictures of the gifts is awesome as well. And then I'm always reminding about the hostess program, just who else can you get? The other thing that we do is the community of confidence video. And Whitney may need to speak a little bit more about that, but we kind of send that out. It kind of lets them know what we do, as a company with Mary Kay and our sessions and things like that. So that's kind of what I got all over the place, but that's what I got.
I don't think that was all over the place. I think that was
Good.
awesome. So, um, I was taking so many notes. So, call the leads fast. Yes, that's such a great point because I have for sure been guilty of putting facial boxes out there. And like Michelle said, she said, I will be back in 1 week. And then she was a woman of her word. I have let facial boxes sit for way too long before and then called people and they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember." Oh yeah, like they're not super excited anymore. So so I love that. Call them fast. Um be happy and excited. And I love that you found a way to be more happy and excited. Ari Hathaway says, like, run around your house or do jumping jacks. Whatever you got to do to sound excited. Stand up and make your calls. That's a cool idea. I've never tried. So I was telling Scarlett recently, you want to sound stupid excited. Like you want to feel a little silly because of how excited you sound. We're not trying to be professional office women when we're making booking calls, y'all. For real. We're trying to be excited so that this is something fun. Because, like I said, people are distracted right now. And there's not a lot of fun, and people are overcommitted. Y'all, people are putting their kids in like 30 million thousand activities, and it's a lot. So, what can you offer that they don't have anywhere else? Fun and excitement. So, be excited where they want to be in your space. And I love that you said, you didn't say this, but you did kind of say this, because you said, I know people will tell you you can text, but you need to call. Shortcuts take longer. Yeah, you can text, but you're going to have to work a lot harder to get the same amount of bookings, and you're not really going to be able to build relationships when you're text booking them. It's not easy to build a relationship. You're much more disposable to them if they don't know you. And they don't still know you if they're talking to you on the phone, but they do know you a lot more. And you can connect with them. And if you're on the phone with them and you hear stuff in the background, I'm like, oh, it sounds like there's a baby in the background. Like you can learn things and you're taking notes on this and you have ways to connect them. And if I learn that they have kids and the kids are going to be there, I'm like, I'm going to bring them goodie bags too. Like, I'm going to bring them their own little goodie bag and I'm going to make sure it's child appropriate because that's a way that you can connect with people. And our job is to make sure people feel important. And so, how can you make them feel important? Um, the other thing that she said that was kind of subtle that I don't know if anybody caught, but she said, I am calling to get you penciled in for the skincare session. That's something that we changed. So the booking and coaching playbook, it is going to be updated. I'm sure y'all love how much I update things, but not that it's bad. We're just being intentional. And when I know that things are going to work better, or we've tested it and it is working better, which a couple of these things we've been doing for a while. I'm calling to get you penciled in. I'm not calling to give you details. No, I want to get you penciled in. I'm literally calling to book you. So that is a very intentional thing that we changed. And then the phone call to follow up and get their skin info. I love that because you're connecting with them. And sometimes the booking calls do feel a little rushed. Because it's like you caught them by surprise. It's not like they knew you were calling. So you want to get them booked. So then you're like, I'm going to give you a call back. And you don't have to schedule that. You could be like, is around this time good for you? She might say, oh, call me after 5. And then you could call her any day after 5. You don't have to actually pick a day. But you're writing all this in your coaching on your coaching sheet. And so that way you can really, really connect with her and have time to ask her more questions. Um, the hostess program, I do have a tip here. So I know she kind of said what she does, but she didn't fully say what she does. And the reason is because you have to be excited about what you're telling them. If you're not excited about what you're offering your hostess, you shouldn't do it. And so if you've missed the million and one different times that I've mentioned pajamagraphics.com, go ahead and check them out because she has a whole section for hostess uh, graphics. And you click on it and it pulls it right into your Canva and you can change it. It does not have to be exactly what's on the graphic, but it's beautiful and you can use it. And we've been texting our hostess perks as part of the coaching process for brand new leads from facial boxes or mama's appreciations or wherever. So that's going to help you too. So what I have been doing is if they have 3 people there, they get half off of everything they want. If they have 5 people there, they get $100 free. You can do whatever you want. You can do $50 free, you can do whatever. Or there's an alternate, which is $5 per guest. So if they have 2 guests there, they still get $10 off. Um, so that is what I'm doing, but that I'm excited about that. So if you're not excited about that, don't do that. Go take a look at what she has. Make sure it's simple and make sure that, well, you can see me. It's just that Scarlett's still highlighted. That's all. I'm on screen. I see me. But she's still highlighted because we're affirming her. And I'm going through my notes. So I want two people to unmute and share a takeaway, something new, something you're excited about, something that you're going to implement. And I see there's some in the chat too, the picture of the goodie bags. Yes. I feel like that is probably one of the most important pieces, probably because it came from Kristen Sharp. But she's right. They can be dead silent and then all of a sudden text you back when they get that picture. They're like, oh, it's got my name on it. It's so fun. And we got cheap printers from Amazon that print like these little labels and it's easy peasy. So cute. Look, this little printer right here. It prints you a label. We put it on a heart. We tie it on the goodie bag and call it a day. And it works. It definitely works. So, okay, who's going to unmute and share a takeaway? So Nisha, email hostess program. I have a couple graphics for my hostess program, so I will throw them in Facebook. How about that? That way it'll always be there. Yes,
No,
I can
that was
put the
my
printer
takeaway.
link in Boxers. That sounds fun. I can do that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, who's sharing? I heard somebody.
No, that was my takeaway, Wendy. Emailing the hostess program.
Oh,
I
I
think
thought you were asking me to email you. I was like, I can share what I've used.
no, you're good.
I'm just special. That's all. Okay. So, yes, attaching your hostess program to the email. That's, yeah. I think that there's things that we've been afraid to do because we're afraid we're going to run people off. But ultimately, what this comes down to is we're raising our expectation. And that means we're going to get bigger and better results, which I'm excited about. And Scarlett started doing this immediately. Like we chatted about it, and then she made booking calls like 5 minutes later, and she's like, "I'm gonna call you back and get some skin information from you." Like she did it right away, and I love it. So, okay, who else is sharing a takeaway?
I'll share one. I loved getting all glammed up right before your calls. I love that because I did not do that. But I love it. I love the confidence that would come out with that. I like.
That is a Scarlett original idea. I have never heard it before, but it is so smart because confidence does come out in your voice. Like it really does. So I agree. That's such a great idea that we're all gonna do. All right, one more person. Who else
And
is
I'm preparing. I'm preparing for directorship. I've got to talk in front of everybody, so I got to have the whole package. Sorry.
Love it. Okay. So, any more takeaways? One more person? Tiffany, yes.
Hey, Scarlett. Okay, so my takeaways was definitely the getting glam up. I know I do a lot of my calls and stuff when I still wearing my hair in a messy bun and haven't washed my face, but at least I've brushed my teeth. I can't talk without brushing my teeth. Um, also the stating that you're getting them booked instead of can I give you details? That's a great idea because honestly, when they're like, oh, what are the details? And they're like, well, I don't want to do that. So it's kind of like they're expecting you to do a full on makeup thing on them for them, and then you're telling them that you're going to be doing a skincare session where you're teaching them something. They're like, oh, well, that's not what I was expected. Or I've had people tell me that they just want me to drop off their package. I'm not giving you a package, ma'am. So this is what you're getting, and I'm calling to get you booked. I like that.
Yeah. We've all had those, just so you know. I still get those to this day. They're like, oh, I'll be here for 5 minutes. Come drop it off. I'm like, no, girl, that's not how this works. So, yes. I love it. Thank you for sharing your takeaways. Okay, it is time for the Smoky Eye Facebook. Oh, Zoom party. But I do want to take a picture first. So thank you so much to Scarlett and Michelle for sharing tonight. I'm so excited. Next week we'll have a couple other ladies sharing. I know for sure Thoraya. So Thoraya, she's been in Mary Kay for a little bit, like a year now, a little over a year, and she had a significant financial need recently and has this Mary Kay business in her pocket. And she also, I guess because we talk about it a lot, put out facial boxes like that, got leads and booked them and started holding parties and selling products just like that. So she's going to be sharing next week her experience with facial boxes too. I think everybody's going to have facial boxes out by the time we're done with this. So I'm excited. But thank you guys so much for sharing and thank you for showing up. So I'm going to take a picture right quick. I have like 6 guests getting on the Zoom, so I need to get over there. But I am so proud of each and every one of you. Thank you for showing up. All right, so Camila is ready for this picture. All right, smile. Okay. I love it. Oh, everybody's so pretty. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for showing up. There is a cat in the camera. But I hope that you all have a great rest of your night. We're not going to be back together until the star quarter's over. The PCP is closed. So let's make sure we maximize these last few days for those things and make it count. All right, love you guys.